First, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Lee Su-hui from Starhub. She is the head of Media Business Unit from Singapore, all the way to the left. Okay, and the second lady is Beryl, right next to me. Head of Program Strategy Department, R&D Center, Hunan Satellite TV China. She buys everything. 30 formats within the past 6 years, including X Factor, Take Me Out, Strictly Come Dancing, Saturday Night Takeaway, my favorite show, 1 versus 100, Your Face Sounds Familiar, and the list go on and on and on. And she is also interested in bringing Chinese formats to the world. Okay? Our third and loveliest speaker, Miss Summer, Director of Formats Strategy Development Center, Zhejiang Satellite TV. Is that right? Okay, perfect. And last but not least, Shenthil from Samsung. She is based here in Singapore, also a local Singaporean. Very dangerous lady. She is the master of negotiation when it comes to everything from independent films, Asian distributors, Hollywood producers, and hit makers, format makers. She has a wonderful appreciation for storytelling, and if she wants something, she will go get it. Now, with no more introduction to do, I'd like each and every one of our speakers to do a short introduction about themselves, and some of them have prepared a show reel, a presentation, whatnot. So let's start with our first speaker.
Hello, I'd just like to have a short introduction about Starhub. Starhub is a fully integrated info communication company. We have services ranging from telecommunication, broadband, and of course pay TV service. We are the market leader in the pay TV service in Singapore. We have more than 530,000 homes subscribing to our service, which is about half of the Singapore homes. We have more than 200 channels that is actually on our pay TV platform. And of course, we have a lot of branded channels, just to name a few: HBO, TVBJ, NBA, BBC, just to name a few. We also actually have a few self-packaged channels that we acquire content and do our own programming to serve the local community. And just as Lynette has shared in the morning, I think it's a privilege that Starhub is the first pay TV to be awarded the PSP Contestable Fund, and we'll be going into local production. I have actually two clips that I have here today that actually introduce about our two channels, Super Sports Arena, our sports channel, and eCity, which is our Chinese general entertainment channel. But before that, I think as I review 2013, it has been a very exciting year for Starhub. Besides the fact that we are awarded the Contestable Fund, we are also making. There are many history-making moments that Starhub shared with Singapore this year. One is with Super Sports Arena, that after 19 years, Singapore football team actually won the Malaysian Super League, and we took the trophy back from Malaysia. And I think it's especially exciting for Starhub because we are a strong supporter of local football, and the fact that the team actually managed to win the championship, I think it's really exciting for us. The second is actually for eCity. In the recent Golden Horse Award, we actually shown the program live, and it actually shows the Singapore movie Ilo Ilo won 4 awards at the Golden Horse Award. And I think it is such moments whereby we could actually connect the viewers with things that they feel that they can relate to, that they feel for. That are things that we are looking for. Okay, so maybe you can show the clip on Super Sports Arena. This is a clip that we put together when the channel goes free to cable access, which means that you don't have to be a cable subscriber. As long as you have a cable point in Singapore, in your home, you'll be able to access the channel. Can we roll the clip? Sorry, this is the Chinese channel. This one talks about what happiness is.
每天来上班的时候，无论是多赶或是多累，都会觉得自己不快乐。快乐是早上起来时看到太阳。
A clip for E-City. It's a Chinese general entertainment channel, so that includes dramas, variety, kids program. Okay? And sorry, for those who didn't understand, it's basically talking about what happiness is, because that's one of the brand value of Starhub. We believe in bringing happiness to our customers. So it was an interweave of real-life people testimony of what happiness is with the program on our channel. Okay, we can roll the next one on Super Sports Arena.
All-time greats to the people. Non-stop action to the people. Presenting a brand new, free, 24-hour dedicated sports channel. It's for you. It's for us. It's for the people. Super Sports Arena is more than just sports. Free for the people now. Tune to VHF 76.25 MHz. Or log on to our website for more details.
Okay, wow. So if you guys got anything happy and snappy, talk to Starhub. And if you have anything sporty and sweaty, surely talk to Starhub. Coming along to our second speaker, we have Beryl from Hunan. Yes, okay, please go ahead.
Okay.
Take over.
Yeah, very nice to meet everybody here. Because I think I have a lot of friends downstairs now, because just now I met a lot of old friends, so make me feel so warm-hearted. So today I'd like to share the growth up and the face with Hunan TV with everybody here. So I think it's better first we have first look and general idea about what Hunan TV is, right? Maybe we first show the video clips.
成长的质感来源于生机与真实，一流的企业立足于制定行业标准。湖南卫视的成长体现在至今只有它敢于和央视一起使用全国网测量仪数据，用最真实、无污染、最具含金量的绿色数字，彰显全国性传播平台的价值。收视层面，文艺最风潮，冲顶实力强。国庆长假刚刚过去，湖南卫视再传捷报，不仅国庆期间收视飙高，而且整个9月，湖南卫视以4.78%的收视份额，全月雄居全国所有卫视排名第1。 包括央视在内。2013年前9个月，湖南卫视有75天超越 CCTV， 拿下全国第一。时长价值含金量最高的晚间黄金时段，湖南卫视精英独播剧场和快乐大本营、天天向上收视稳居同时段全国第一。晚间10点档原创品牌节目带，收视和品牌、市场与口碑比翼齐飞，双双登顶。甚至前9个月晚间时段的广告收视率都大幅度超过其他卫视同时段的节目收视率。央视索福瑞数据显示，平均每天有2.1亿观众收看湖南卫视，每人平均收看47分钟，观众最多，收视时间最长，忠实程度最高。受众层面，稳握最年轻，辐射全普系。经过10多年积淀发酵，湖南卫视平台对女性、青少年核心观众的吸引力一直稳居全国首位。2013年，湖南卫视又以《我是歌手》开年大火为契机，向中年、高端和精英观众拓展，受众进一步广谱化。在地缘上，湖南卫视是真正的全国性传播平台，从来不像某些卫视离开本地就优势大减，甚至变成伪视。全国网、中心城市网、29省网，湖南卫视3脉打通，3网全赢。
Okay, thank you for sharing. So I think it's better for us to know about each other better, right? So that we can go ahead hand in hand. So next, maybe I'd like to share our program strategy with all of us here. So here I'd like to tell about some simple stories about Hunan TV. So according to the CSM National Resource Survey, it showed that Hunan TV has kept firmly the only provincial level rival to CCTV, the state-owned channel in China. And the resources also showed that we are firmly the national nighttime winner in 2013, with the ratings 20% higher than CCTV1, and our share also doubled that of the second provincial channel. The CSM resource also showed that Hunan TV is the most watched primetime winner in last year, with the ratings topping the national primetime and late time charts, which showed it quite clearly from the graphics here. And I'd like to tell the story about our format business. Actually, we started the format business in China 7 years ago, and nowadays we are the favorite buyer in the world market. And of course, without a doubt, I think Hunan TV is the best China's best format producer in China market. Namely, several of our success, for example, we have licensed Strictly Come Dancing from BBC, X Factor and Take Me Out from Fremantle, 1 vs 100, and just Your Face Sounds Familiar from Endemol. And last year, we also introduced the show I'm a Singer and Dad, Where Are We Going in the China market. So I think there is a lot of friends that we have cooperated all along the way. So currently, the Dad, Where Are We Going show, the reality show, is still on air on Hunan TV. I can tell you the latest story is that the latest episode we just aired last Friday, the ratings is already up to 5.2, and the share is already over 20% in the China market. That means 3 of the 10 viewers during the same time slot is following the lovely Daddy show at the same time slot. Okay, so here I'd like to share our prime time programming strategy for the springtime next year with all of you, which could make our strategy more clearly. So from Monday to Sunday, throughout the whole week, beginning from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, it is mainly the TV drama series time. Normally, we will arrange 2 episodes per night, and there is also a special weekly drama strip during the weekend. And on Friday night and Saturday night evening, we normally will arrange our original branded show that is an annual series. One is the Dating Up Talk Show, and the other is a Happy Base Camp. Those of the two shows have already been broadcasted in Hunan TV's platform for more than 10 years with very great popularity and high ratings. And I think in the following years, these two shows will keep going on. So, and apart from the above, according to the policy, everybody knows that in China nowadays, we are only allowed to produce our self-produced shows and overseas formats during the late prime time time slot. That is all begin from 10 o'clock. So you can see all the blue blocks are falling into these categories. And in addition, all the blue ones are also quite important in our program strategy, because I think it's where the original creation comes from. So if any good resources, we are ready and open to welcome them to fill in this kind of time slot, right? So, okay, now here it is the late time, prime time programming for Hunan TV next year, which could help us to further understand our strategy more clearly. So now facing next year and facing the future, we are now considering to put more different themed topics and the content in different days according to our strategy. So for example, on Monday, we'd like to put some competition and game shows. And the Tuesday, we'd like to have some dating shows and any shows that would have the connection with the emotions. And on Wednesday, it's better to be comedy, which could make people happy and laugh. On Thursday, we think we welcome any good creative news shows and variety shows during that time, the special time slot. And of course, on Friday, which is also the very big time for every Chinese audience, we definitely will arrange the very big TV events during that time slot, yeah, which could attract the massive audience and with the highest ratings. Yeah. So nowadays, Hunan TV, we have already put up most of the big shows during this important time. So on Saturday night, for next year, we are ready to try more on the reality shows and factual entertainment, which is quite a new field for the China TV industry, because Hunan TV is always like to challenge ourselves and challenge together with our friends. So on Sundays, we will stick normally to our weekly drama specials as before, and which will cover like the teen series and experimental ones and romance content, something like that. So well, I hope I didn't speak too much on that. So that's all for Hunan TV. Thanks for sharing.
Whoa. Hunan TV, you're sizzling. I feel like a kid in the candy store. Or a kid in Watson's store. You can get everything from bubblegum to Tiger Balm. And it's so colorful. I'm just gonna skip China for a moment to Samsung. And Shenthil here has prepared a 4-hour presentation with 400 pages PowerPoint slides. But she has decided to just throw away everything and just give you guys a recap of what Samsung is buying on this new platforms. Go ahead, Shenthil. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Good evening, everyone. With Samsung, as Art has said, we don't have to say too much about Samsung. We are very proud of our world-class technology and innovation. Now we have started a new division to package content and services. At Samsung Asia, I would be curating content, providing an exciting video offering for the Southeast Asia market. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll get to know more about what she's buying and what she's not buying, and how do we all say yes and how do we say no in the next part of this discussion. But yes, let's go to Summer for what Zhejiang has to introduce. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Summer from Zhejiang TV of mainland China. I'm very happy to see you all, and I would like to show you a video clip of our current programs of this year to have a brief idea of what kind of programs we are making.
4位歌坛巨星，谁将会是今年的冠军导师？
今年的冠军依然会属于那英战队。
我们是最棒的 Army Family， 一定会取得最后胜利。
今年我会是冠军的导师。
哈林战队活力爆棚，我们一定会嗨翻全场。
中国梦想秀第6季，
在这里，梦想插上翅膀。在这里，总有喜悦和感动。
哇吼！你们是未来的优秀。
梦想在，我们就在。
我骄傲，我自豪，明天会更好。
中国梦想秀，让梦想照亮现实。新一轮战局即将开始，本期将新进2位明星子女，
希望带给大家是比较多的笑容。
面对压力，其他明星子女会有怎样的表现？
今天的表演非常有地方特色。
这一次的表演狂拽酷炫，
演出现场，另一位登台的明星子女又会是谁？我不是明星，每周一22点，正能量登场。
Thank you. These are our the 2 of shows, our flagship shows, The Voice of China and the Chinese Dream Show, and the other one is I'm Not Star, a very new show just to start from this year, and got already the top ratings on Monday evening. Yeah, here we go. Zhejiang Satellite TV, as you probably already know, that in China, there are more than 30 satellite TV channels, and luckily we are ranking top 3. And our flagship shows, I just explained, The Voice of China and the Chinese Dream Show. They both receive very high ratings and rankings, and also very high praise from public and media across China. Actually, we just celebrated the 5th anniversary of our new brand, China Blue. In fact, 5 years ago, in the year 2008, we had an eternal innovation and program revision. So you could see from this graph that our ratings rose dramatically within the past 5 years. In the August 2008, our ranking was number 8 in China, but the August this year, 2013, our ranking was already the number 1. And our audience coverage also keep increasing until 1 billion in China, and rank number 1 among all the satellite TV channels. Our audience focus on age 22 to 55, and from the loyalty index, you could see the loyalty also increase in the past 5 years. This is a whole program schedule of our channel of November this year. Actually, you could see the most important time slots are in the evening after 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can see we have drama, and every single night we have different entertainment shows. Here we have like talent show, game show, and comedy show, etc. And of course, Friday and Saturday night is the most important and valuable time slot for us. In most cases, we put big projects, seasonal big projects. For example, like The Voice of China, like Chinese Dream Show. And we are, as a content buyer, we are keeping on looking for big content to replace the older ones, to fill in these time slots. We have licensed almost 10 formats in the past 2 years. Here are some examples. We cooperate with international companies like Tapa, like Shine, Endemol, Fremantle, Sony, etc. And we are open to varied business models. As you know, we do in-house production, we also do co-production, and we even outsource independent production. and we are very open to that, and we believe that like resource integration is very important for us. The Voice of China already set up a role model. The season 1 and season 2 rating is really high compared to all the other music shows in China. And we also put a lot of effort in our original creativity. China Dream Show and I'm Not Star. These are the classical shows that we have for now that we also are finalizing our format and we prepare to enter into the international market. Actually, this show, I'm Not Star, came out from, the idea came from an intern of our production team. As I explained, we think external resource integration is very important because we believe that to maximize the motivation of all parties could lead to maximize the positive outcomes. We in the Voice of China, we cooperate with Star Production and we invest together, we take the risk together, and then we share profits. So what about next year? As a buyer, people are always asking you the question like, what are you going to do next year? Well, I would say the key word is variety. 2 examples. Here is a comedy show, The King of Comedy, and a new show called Film's 12 Dishes. It is a cooperation with EEG, the Emperor Entertainment Group of Hong Kong, and the artist, Mr. Xie Tingfeng. It will be a food travelogue with a lot of elements of fun and entertainment. And of course, there are many other ideas and new shows are under development. That's it.
Okay, very cool. Now that you know a little bit about each speaker and who they work for, I have a few questions for the next part of this panel. If you guys have any questions, please make use of this pigeonhole tool. That way I can read what you have in mind. But in the meantime, let me just randomly ask anybody about, say you like a show, how do you say yes? Or say you don't like a show, how do you say no to it so that they keep coming back to you for, more pitches? Go ahead, please.
Well, I think when we evaluate the content, we would actually base it on a couple of factors. One would be what is the potential subscription, potential viewership, whether that it's something like I mentioned just now, does it resonate with the viewers? So that would be one key criteria. The other one would be in terms of the branding and marketing, and also the target segments that we are going after. Is it meeting these criteria? And of course, at the end of the day, it's also, is it meeting our financials projection? Whether this is something that is sustainable in the long term for us as a business. So this will be the key criteria that we're considering when we evaluate whether it's a piece of, whether it's a channel or content that we want to acquire. And I suppose the environment is very dynamic. Things that may not be relevant today could become relevant tomorrow. So I think as producers, as content creators, for ourselves also as operators, we would always need to monitor what is the changing environment, what are the change in the consumer pattern and their preference, and whatever that we may have said that we KIV, when the time is right, it becomes something that we will pick up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. I think everybody always like to say yes to everybody. So I think it's also very hard to say a definite no to our friends, right? So I think from the yes point, right? I think we could have some discussion on this kind of the strategy that we could face in together the future. So everybody now is talking about the kind of the policy nowadays in China. But from my point of view, I think this kind of policy is really a very good thing for the entire Chinese TV industry. Because of that, actually it is drive us to put our more energy devoted more to the self-research and development, to drive us to strengthen our inner power than before. So I think it's quite meaningful for the long terms. So, of course, facing the future, we would not hide this kind of the self-R&D behind the closed doors. We will keep the still be very open and be very flexible and very positive to cooperate with our international partners and friends. For example, we think our cooperative pattern or mode could be more flexible. For example, we could have some kind of the all around the three-dimension cooperation together and co-development of some original ideas. And even we could have some technical cooperation, and also we could also have some kind of the segment cooperation and co-development. And either we could have some kind of the joint venture, something like that. So I think everything is possible, and there is every yes anytime. So according to no, I think it's very hard to say the definite no to us. So I can only propose some good suggestion that we could share. So I think specifically to the Chinese market, especially the Asian market, I think people should always bear in mind the kind of the cultural difference, because the Eastern culture and Western culture is so different, right? For example, a lot of elements that in the West shows, for example, the gambling, the big prices, the cruel competition, and even the peering at the privacy is quite unacceptable in the China market. Yeah, according to our kind of the situation and conditions, something like that. So I think, right, for our cooperation, it might be more flexible and care about the kind of the culture difference in mind. And also we could also pay attention to kind of the cultural adaptation, the compatibility of the content with our platform and our brand. And also we should also thinking about a little about the audience difference and audience preference, and even something like the policy environment, right? So I think that's what I want to share.
Thank you. Shenthil and Summer, anything you want to share before I go on to the questions from the audience?
Well, I think for us, Zhejiang Satellite TV, for the question, like, okay, so when we look at a format or other, what kind of content, firstly, we will have a very careful review, of course. Review the show itself, the track record in the international market for the international audience, and also we need to think about the adaptation to the China market. There is one thing I remember very clearly when a few weeks ago we looked at a Western game show. And we think it looks really, it's a very high technology and very cool. But when we think about, our audience, Chinese audience, they really like jolly and lively shows, and those high technology and very smart game shows could be too cold for them. And in that case, if we want to make that format or want to make that project, then we really have to put a lot of entertainment elements into it to be adapted to the market, or we probably have to say sorry. But when we have to say sorry to our international partners, then we will explain very clearly about the whole situation, the reasons why we could not make it. Yeah.
Yes, at Samsung we have a razor-sharp focus on what we want and what we want to package for the consumers. Right now, we are looking at content that, please pitch to us, show us what you've got, new shows that you're trying to introduce to the Asian audiences. We'll be open to looking at those kind of shows. Strictly no co-production opportunities. At this point, we're not getting into any production at this show. Thank you.
Okay, wow. It says time's up. Please wrap up now. But I do want to ask a question from the audience. One of the most voted question goes to Shenthil for, is Samsung do you think VOD on Samsung will fare better than cable VOD?
This is an interesting question. We don't operate like a cable, we are very different from a cable operator. Our platform is purely and exclusive to Samsung users. Yes, we have a very broad reach in the marketplace. We are continuously innovating and launching new devices on the mobile side, our smartphones, tablets, and our smart TV. And the service offering for Samsung is going to be very focused on the mobile platform for now, for the region. And with the Samsung video product that we've got movies in there, we're going to be introducing more TV. So I would say, it's a purely premium video service offering. There's a great opportunity for monetization. We don't operate like the cable operators where it's a SVOD model. Ours is purely TVOD. So I think the industry could see where these opportunities lie. Thank you.
Are you buying any documentaries, anybody? The 4 speakers? Starhub is? Yes. Hunan?
Yes.
Yes. Anybody else in the room buying documentaries? Please raise your hand. That way you can make contacts after the session. Okay, never mind.
Actually, I'd like to have supplementary. Actually, for Hunan TV, we are planning to open kind of the special documentary time slot for next year, maybe in the late evening or the noontime, according to our strategy, because we think documentary would be quite real and it kind of the content expansion. So it could has accommodate a lot of content inside. So that would be very favorite for the Chinese audience.
See, she never says no. Anything, it's cool. If it's not for now, then it's for the future. Okay, well, I'd like to leave you with the last question so that we can all head out and enjoy the evening. This is one of the least popular questions, but I still like to ask all the speakers anyway. What kind of buyers would you like to work with, or sellers would you like to work with? And what makes you ignore their contacts? Can we get that question on the screen? In other words, what kind of sellers do you like to work with? What makes you ignore or respond to their emails and phone calls? Anybody? Just for fun. Go ahead, please. Anybody? Shenthil.
I like to, I've been in the content buying space for more than a decade now. I really like to work with content partners who truly understand the client and the platform that we have, understand the space we're operating in, do their homework. When they pitch, then I think it's more meaningful. Thank you.
Cool. Like to add anything?
I think actually we are very open to any partner worldwide. So, okay. So I think we could like to. We really love to work with the buyers of any kinds, because we think only if that you could absorb the different ideas in all around the world, you can explore, you can enlarge your imagination and your vision in the future. So we will not refuse any kind of the buyers in the world market. So, and we are always open to talk with everyone. So, but we really like that the buyers could understand us much, because we also kind of encountered a lot of kind of the trivial problems during our cooperation with partners, right? So the better understanding will better promote our cooperation facing the future, especially facing the kind of the special situation in China. And we always think that the buyers could understand our culture and Asia culture more, because for us, we really have a kind of a dream to promote the Chinese culture together, which is very powerful in the Asia culture. to the worldwide to help this kind of the Chinese culture to go forward in the future in the world market. So as to the what kind of the ignore their context, nothing would ignore, right? Only if I'm too busy sometimes.
Well, for us, I just explained that we are very open to various business models. So for us, some other buyers could also be our cooperation partners. Nowadays there are some production company. They are also buying stuff and making their show themselves, and we already have a very successful examples in the past. And I believe the future we will have more and more cooperation cases with those buyers. So it's not an embarrassing thing. It's very normal and very natural. We think if we can make something together, so long as it will be a positive outcome, why not we work together?
If you can please give us some closing words.
Actually, I was wondering, do they mean what kind of sellers would you like to work with, or what kind of buyers?
Maybe both. Yeah.
Well, I suppose if it's buyers, then I think we have actually regional partners that are in the same space with us in telecommunication, in pay TV, in broadband. And so there are opportunities for us to share ideas, to actually co-produce, because we can use it in similar platforms. And I think for content partners, I think Starhub believes in partnership. And I think when we work with partners, it's really long-term partnership. And this is a challenging environment that we are facing with piracy, with fragmentation. So I think as long as they are dedicated to grow the industry, we would like to work with them.
Okay, well, thank you. That's it.